No. No. Is it snowing? Oh, fuck. That's snow. This is snow. It's October and there's already snow. This is great. Oh my god. See, I thought I was gonna come home and have it be raining because this entire day I trekked through the rain for miles and miles at a time because in the city that I live in, I don't currently have transportation other than cabs and Ubers, and well, Uber's not popular in Maine, but cabs certainly are, and the fare on them is just insane for somewhere that you could walk. And I am certainly young enough, certainly healthy enough to walk to such places, and so I do. Though the issue tends to arise when one is tasked with horrible weather, which in the case of today, I had to walk through just pouring rain until I eventually took shelter at a McDonald's, sitting there trying to, just drink a hot coffee and just not think about what was going on outside, as I had to trek through the rain for so long. But I sit down with my coffee and I begin looking out the window, and something so nice is about the rain, and I couldn't quite pinpoint what it was. That at first I had felt utterly defeated by the cold gaze of the weather, that I had felt as if, I was just going to be just in a terrible place for that entire day, but it ended up being the opposite at the end. I ended up having a positive spin on what was going on, and, I didn't feel so bad about the fact that it was raining. I sat there and I looked out the window and I simply reveled in what the current moment was. And it's interesting how perspective can do that, where at one moment it was seemingly an issue of cold destroying your fucking current life out there in the world. And when you finally get inside and drink your coffee, you can really take in what that situation was and appreciate it for what it was. And after warming up, you walk outside, and in that moment you begin to feel exactly what was there to be appreciated in the first place, and you come with a renewed perspective on the entire matter, where when trekking along to the McDonald's you had seen the weather as a fierce, adverse experience trying to cut you down. You had gotten back feeling like an entirely new man, That's how perspective changes things, We think about depression and things of that nature. It's, at the end of the day, a state of mind. If you feel that your life simply isn't worth living, if you feel that the weather is too cold, that at present things aren't so well, the only thing you can do to mitigate such a situation is to change one's mindset. It is to sit there and realize that there are positive elements to such material conditions, and then in in realizing that you can focus on them and really hone into the mood, the aesthetic. In my case, honing into such comfiness, honing into such a mood was brought about by sitting down in the McDonald's and having a hot drink to decompress, that I wasn't being forcibly put out in the cold for so long that I had time to warm up, and by the time I had appreciated the warmth on my body, I could appreciate the cold for what it was as well. That having the two back to back with one another allows you to appreciate the duality of both things. And we appreciate the cold for the fact that it, in many ways, makes us feel real. That in the cold, one is freezing their fingers off, one is having their body react in a immediate sense to the weather, that they are feeling an immediate reaction, right? In the heat, all you tend to feel is drowsy, all you tend to feel is tired. You sweat, sure, but the sweat doesn't mean much. It is simply you being tired. It is simply you wanting to go to bed without energy. The cold is rather something that brings out energy. It is something that your body has a forceful reaction to, one in which it's like you're jumping inside of a cage, slamming against the walls, trying to get out, that you feel all of your senses succumbing to such natural forces. In the sun, in the heat, all one feels is the weight of a tired day. In the winter, one presses on, one jumps out of their self to experience the harsh reality of the grind, to experience just how tough life can be at times, to experience just how hurtful a reaction can be. There's something beautiful about that. There's something beautiful about being humans, about feeling pain, about having such emotional reactions. It is not something we can explain so easily with logic. It is not something we can explain so easily with words. It is something we can only feel, and that's really special. It's a really unique thing, and it's cool.